Hi, Elizabeth Moffett here. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that I call diaphragmatic breathing. That, with the combination of pursed-lipped breathing, is going to help you get out of those tricky situations where you're short of breath and you can't seem to catch it. So, the first thing I need to tell you is about the diaphragm. The diaphragm is the muscle in your body that you are supposed to use to breathe. So it sits right underneath your lungs and is usually kind of curved just like this. So when you breathe in, it goes out. I'll kind of demonstrate. So you breathe in, goes down, allowing air to fill up in your lungs, and then when you exhale, it goes back up, helping to push the air out of your lungs. When you have COPD, your lungs tend to retain air. So lungs that are normally this size and shape will eventually get bigger and bigger and bigger, which pushes down on your diaphragm because you only have so much room in here, okay? So the diaphragm tends to be weak when you have COPD, and actually there are several breathing problems that you could have that could weaken your diaphragm. But the first thing you need to do is strengthen your diaphragm. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing you need to do is figure out, do you use your diaphragm now or not? Some people do, some people don't. So the way you figure that out is you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, and you want to breathe in and out through your nose, looking down at your chest and watching which hand moves the most, okay? So I'll just do a couple of breaths with you. You want to inhale through your nose and then exhale. Do a couple. Okay, now what you want to happen is you want your bottom hand, the hand on your stomach, to move more than the hand on your chest. So another way to think of it is belly breathing, which isn't, the proper term, but that's another way you can think about it. A lot of times when you have trouble breathing and you have COPD, you naturally start to use other muscles to breathe. So you're going to be using your muscles up here, your muscles in your sides, in your back, and a lot of people tend to look like this when they breathe. Because you think, if you move all this up here, you're going to be getting more air into your lungs, but it's actually not true. When you pull up like this, you're limiting the expansion of your lungs because you get tight through here, okay? So the very first thing that you need to do in order to stop getting short of breath is to practice what's called diaphragmatic breathing at home. So you can practice either using this method, look in a mirror, or look down at your chest. A lot of times if you do it without looking in a mirror or at your chest, you're going to do it opposite and not even realize it. So you want to make sure your bottom moves more than your top. I'll demonstrate again. Inhale through your nose, pushing your stomach out. And then exhale, pull your stomach muscles in. So I'm going to show you a side view too, just so you can understand what I'm saying here. So you want to inhale through your nose and exhale, pulling your stomach in. Okay, a couple of things on the breathing. You always want to breathe out twice as long as you breathe in. That's so you can get all of the excess air out. And you probably also noticed that when I'm breathing out, I'm kind of puckering my lips. That's called pursed lip breathing. You actually do want to do that because when you pucker your lips and you blow out, not like you're blowing out a candle, but more like you're cooling off soup or something less intense than blowing out a candle, you're actually going to be creating a back pressure in your lungs that are going to keep your smaller airways open longer so that more gas exchange can take place, which means that you're going to get more oxygen in your blood, and then you're going to blow out more CO2 or carbon dioxide, which I know you've heard of that if you have COPD. This is a way to help you get rid of some of that retained carbon dioxide. So this is something that you want to practice at home multiple times a day. You want to do it at home multiple times a day so that you can build the strength in your diaphragm. When you first start out, it's very possible that you're not going to see any movement at all from your diaphragm, and that's because your diaphragm is a muscle and it's weak. But you can make it stronger, and you need to make it stronger because that's what's going to keep you out of the breathlessness cycle that everyone seems to get themselves into, okay? So when your body gets used to using your diaphragm, you don't need any of these other muscles to do the work of breathing. Now, the great thing about that is that the less muscles that you use, the less oxygen that you use, which means your saturations will stay up longer and you will catch your breath much faster, okay? So this is something that I'll leave you with because it's a lot in one day, but just make sure you're practicing the diaphragmatic breathing at home over and over and over. And when you do get short of breath, the first thing you want to do is you want to sit down because you're going to take the pressure off of all of your muscles. You don't want your muscles to move at all, really, when you're short of breath. That way, your body can use all of the oxygen it's able to get in to actually oxygenate your body. That will go up to your brain and make you feel better. So you want to relieve any muscle that you can by sitting down or leaning up against a wall. Then you just want to rest and you want to practice the diaphragmatic breathing. Do that and you will be able to increase the amount of blood oxygen that you have, and it will get you out of the shortness of breath episode faster. Now, you may need your rescue inhaler, okay, because sometimes when you're short of breath, if you're bronchoconstricted, you do need that inhaler. So I'm not saying you won't need that, but you will get better faster if you try to relax all of your muscles and practice the diaphragmatic breathing. Until next time, see ya.